I program the Canadian features with Agata Smolec del Sorbo, and I also do the Nordic region, which is Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway, and Sweden. I also do some of the Baltic countries, Estonia, and I also do the Philippines and the Netherlands. So I was definitely quite taken with Picture Day, Kate Melville's film, which stars Tatiana Maslany as a young girl who's flunked grade 12, so she kind of has to repeat her year, and she's kind of in a holding pattern. She comes from a kind of dysfunctional family. She's pretty much on her own. She's kind of like, she's on the cusp of adulthood. She has sort of the freedoms, but not really the responsibilities of an adult. And she basically gets caught between two men. One is a musician in a Toronto funk band. The other one is a young kid who's in grade 9 who's just she used to babysit for. It's a very funny movie. It's smart, it's psychologically acute, it's got great performances, and it's a really kick-ass movie. Eat, Sleep, Die, Gabriela Pickler's film. It's a film about a young woman who's part of an enclave of Eastern European immigrants, essentially from the former Yugoslavia, who immigrated to Sweden. She's basically supporting the family, her and her father, based on the money she makes at like a kind of a packing factory. It turns out that the plant is replacing the previous wave of immigrants who would work at a fairly cheap price with a new wave of immigrants who will work for a cheaper price. It's quite touching. I mean, really her choice boils down to, does she try to stay with the community that's kind of falling apart, or does she leave town and pursue other like employment possibilities? And it's just a really smart, intelligently made movie that has a real emotional impact. One of the selections I'm quite excited about is Yun Rubles Lana's Boca, which is from the Philippines. It's a very sort of realist film. It deals with the character who's a senior citizen and he's retired. His only real friend is his dog, Boca, which is where the title comes from. He's gay, and he didn't discover that or come to terms with it until he was late 50s or 60s. It's really kind of about self-discovery, really just a beautifully done movie. I think another hidden gem is Sarah Janssen's film. It's called All That Matters Is Past. It stars Christopher Yoner, who audiences know here, and Marie Bonnevie. This is kind of an ill-fated romance, and they've been in love since they were teenagers. It's very much about their relationship to nature, about the challenges to their romance. Really atmospheric and very well-acted movie, which is a world premiere, so it's a big deal. One of the hidden gems, I think, in the Canadian program is Robert Wilson and Jason Lepere's film I Declare War, which deals with kids who spend their summers playing war games in the field or the forest in their neighborhood. It'll move between reality and kind of fantasy like instantaneously. At one point they're playing with homemade guns and suddenly they have very realistic looking AK-47s and there's grenade blasts and everything. So it really explores, I mean, they're aping adult language, they don't really understand it, and it kind of pulls the rug out from underneath you. It exposes what they're like, the repercussions of what they're talking about, and playing it. I mean, it's very unsettling and disturbing. It's also kind of very funny at points. I love the fact that they kind of the directors, Wilson and Lepere, sort of drop you right into the heads of the kids. Very intriguing and I think very affecting work. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. The kids are in it are amazing too. I think a lot of them will be there at the screening, so it'll be fun.